One of the topics that comes up all the time in forums that people seem to misunderstand, especially as new sellers, is the difference between your BSR rank, which is your best sellers rank, and your search term ranking. Stay tuned and I'll tell you the difference between the two. What's up, fellow drivers? This is your boy David Liggins with No Rep Limits, and I'm excited to bring you some more valuable information today. And if you're a new subscriber or you just found this video somehow, basically I sell physical products online through Amazon as a launch platform, through Amazon FBA. Today we're going to be talking about one of the big misconceptions, especially for new sellers, between your search term ranking and your BSR, which is your best sellers rank, okay? This is very important to understand the difference between the two because it will help you understand your data a bit better. And when you're going through product research, especially, this is really critical and important for you to understand so you'll know what type of products and how they're doing it. So I actually better state it, how products are doing and what the velocity of those products are doing, okay? All right, with that being said, let's start off with your best sellers rank. Best sellers rank, or BSR, is what Amazon uses to rank your sales against your competitors in that same category, okay? So for example, if you're selling in baby, you're gonna see baby as your top category. You're also gonna have a subcategory, and you might have something that's a little bit deeper than that, but in these particular niches and those categories, you're gonna have a number associated with that, okay? In most cases, what we're gonna be focusing on is a subcategory ranking, right? Because this really identifies what niche you're in, okay? So if you're in baby and you're selling baby blankets or baby towels, that could be a subcategory versus baby bedding, for example. And if you're looking at bestsellers rank, we don't really want to compare ourselves with the top category, just baby in general, although you can, because if you're in the top 10 or top 100 for the category in general, you're killing it, okay? So quickly, let's just try to understand what bestsellers rank mean. And this is very important, guys. This is very important when you're doing product research, when you're looking at different tools that give you the bestsellers rank, because a lot of these tools use the bestsellers rank to estimate the numbers and the velocity of sales, okay? And that's key here. It's the velocity of sales. So for example, in my subcategory, if I'm in the top 100 or even the top 20, that means my product is selling, let's go with position 20, okay? So in my subcategory, I'm ranked 20 for my BSR. The BSR may be, I don't know, let's say 3,000, okay? Which can fluctuate hourly. So if I stayed at roughly 3,000 for a whole week, that means that I've sold at the same velocity roughly in that category as everything in that subcategory. Okay, I know that could be kind of confusing, so let me kind of rephrase that. So your BSR will shift every hour, okay? This doesn't mean you're doing good or bad, it's just how it goes. Some products sell better at day, some products sell better at night, some products sell better in the weekend. Let's say, for example, if you're cooking breakfast in the morning, you may use a skillet. Boom. Guess when you're gonna think about buying a skillet? When you're using it. You don't think about buying a skillet when you're at the gym, for example, right? So this is when customers are like, oh man, I need a new skillet, and we go ahead and make that purchase. So your BSR can fluctuate all throughout the day. But don't fret, guys, because this is normal, okay? What you want to do and how you really evaluate how important your BSR is or how you're selling is to compare your positioning with your competitors, okay? So let's say that on Monday afternoon, I'm ranked 20. My BSR is around 3,000, okay? You can be ranked 20 all week and your BSR can be 2,500 or it can be 3,500 or anywhere in between, right? What that means is that from your competitors who are around you, who are positioned 1 through 19 or 21 through 50, for example, are selling, you're selling at roughly the same velocity as them to maintain your 20th position. Okay, do you understand? So this is really important, right? Because your BSR can move. Your BSR can be 3,000 today, and then this evening it could be, 5,000, but you can still be positioned 20. Okay, that's what really matters. Do you maintain your position relative to your competitor? Okay. Now, what this would do is when you start looking at some of these tools like Jungle Scout, who estimates the velocity of sales based on your BSR, if I have a product that sells really fast in the morning, my BSR is going to be lower. It may drop to like 1,800, okay? So if you're looking at the data and Jungle Scout has scraped this data and has scraped it where my BSR is at 1,800, you're going to get a higher estimated monthly volume of sales, all right? Now let's say you go back and check a few days later and the BSR for that same product is at 3,200. Now Jungle Scout or whatever tool that you're going to use is going to give you a different velocity, a sales velocity for that particular month, okay? So it's really important for you to keep an eye on where that product lands relative to competitors. You can't just go based off the BSR and those estimations because they fluctuate hourly. And this is one of the big mistakes people do when they're looking at, when they're doing product research and looking at the data, all right? All right, now let's take a little bit of time to understand your search term ranking, okay? So this is the ranking that most people are worried about. And it's very important because this would determine how many eyeballs are going to be on your product. Now, just to step back, take one step back, let's say I was doing a giveaway because that's been popular nowadays. I don't recommend giveaways right now. There's a lot of things that's changing, but we can talk about it in another video. But let's say that you were doing a giveaway and you just spiked your sales. Guess what? Your BSR is going to be extremely low, which is good. It decreases, which means your product is selling at a fast velocity. So when you start to evaluate these products, you can get messed up because it's going to look like this product's doing really good if you catch it at a time when they're doing a giveaway or something where they're pushing out a lot of units, okay? Now, let's fast forward a little bit and we're going to talk about your search term ranking. So your search term ranking was really important because this is going to help you get your product in front of people's eyes, okay? So if I go in and search baby towels, they're going to have a list of products that are on that first page, second page, third page, etc., okay? Most of us are trying to get to that first page, and in most cases trying to get those top 5 spots, all right? One of the top sellers for that keyword, or that search term, I should say. So baby towel, for example, is a search term. It's a search term that I, as a customer, may type into Amazon in the little search bar, and then I'm gonna find a list of products. If that's one of your main search terms, you want to rank for that search term, so you show up on the first page or in top 5, okay? This is also called ranking, and your relevancy for that particular keyword is really important. So if you're selling baby towels, you can have baby blanket, baby towel, baby cotton towel, baby muslin towel, antimicrobial towel for babies, right? These are all different search terms that can be used to find a particular product. And you want to rank for as many relevant search terms or keywords that helps identify your product. And ranking for those means that you want to go to page 1, position 1 through 16, for example, and it could differ depending on grid format and etc. But that's the real big difference when we talk about BSR and search term ranking, okay guys? And so just because your BSR may be good for a couple of days does not mean that you're going to be ranking on the first page for your main keywords, okay? That means you just got a lot of sales relative to your competitors, but it can be from all the other keywords that you may be targeting, for example, okay? So every cell contributes to a lower BSR and improves your BSR, but not every cell contributes to all of your keywords. And going back to listing optimization, which I said in my last video, if you have your listing optimized for these very important keywords, every cell helps build authority and ranking for those search terms that make sense. So baby towel may be one of your main keywords, or baby muslin towel, etc. Antimicrobial towel, baby antimicrobial towel may be a search term that you want to use and rank for, right? So if you're bidding on Amazon sponsored ads or PPC for baby muslin towel, for example, you're going to build a little bit more ranking and authority for every sale you get with that particular search term. But not only that, is for every other sale that you get for keywords, once you have your listing optimized, it's going to have residual effect and build authority for all the search terms that you have in your back end, and also have your title and your bullet points, okay? So this is just a quick tip, a quick guide. I wanted to kind of clarify the difference between your search term ranking and your BSR ranking. Anyways, guys, I hope that helps. And if you like the information I'm giving, hey, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe below, follow me on my next videos, etc. Could I be putting out more content, hopefully doing about 3 videos a week. Anyways, I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll see you later. Peace.